Oh, that was close. What is there? Is this, did one hit me? Last week went down swimmingly as I predicted, and there was a lot of very, very triggered Liverpool and Mo Salah fans in the comments section, which, if you can't tell, deeply, deeply offended me, and I've been losing sleep over it. I haven't slept in days. Jupp Jones said, funny seeing all the pissed off Liverpool fans in the comments below. Yes, it bloody well was. Now I'm going to respond to only a few, because there were so many that I'd generally be here all day if I tried to respond to them all. The first irritated man is Apodge J&J Ute. The irony of the Mo Salah diving run is that they used a picture from the Bournemouth game, which he stayed on his feet and scored the second of a hat-trick. The irony of this comment is that it wasn't from that game, it was from the game, I believe it was the first game of the season against Crystal Palace, when Wan-Bissaka got sent off for fouling Mo Salah as the last man. Now go back, watch the highlights of that sending off and tell me with a straight face that the way Mo Salah went down wasn't, a little bit embarrassing. Just accept that your God isn't perfect and he's, a bit of a knobhead like everyone else. That's all I want from this. Canon Logic has the next one. I hope he keeps diving and getting pens for it. Don't care if it means we win the Prem. This is exactly the sort of comment I'm looking for. Just some brutal honesty. I respect this fully and I completely understand it. Liverpool haven't won the Premier League yet. This is their best chance. If I were a Liverpool fan, I wouldn't give a shit. I just want that trophy. Bad decisions or not, diving or overreacting players or not. The entire point was to rumble all the Liverpool fans and Mo Salah fans that just can't accept that their favourite player in the entire world may also be a bit of a melt. So well done, Kanajic. I like you. You're an honest boy. I just want honest people. Lois McPhee. Sterling is worse than Salah for diving. Have you forgot Ashley Young, Penaldo, even Kane? Sterling has dived before, yes, but I don't want Sterling to dive. I don't want any player to dive, whether they're a player I support or not. I haven't forgot about Young, Ronaldo or Harry Kane, but they didn't do it last week, and the point of this show is to be relevant, so I'm not going to go through an exhaustive list of people who have dived before because you just can't grasp how the concept of news works. It's new. Happened recently. I agree one of his penalties was controversial, but to state he is a complete disgrace to the league is pure bias. Personal opinion, it's amazing that people with no athletic ability or a sense of worth in this world can call out others way above their own BS. The guy that made this video only has the ability to run his mouth. He should stop and ask himself, what the f has he contributed to life outside being a waste of space? Imagine, just imagine for a brief moment, the sheer anger and hatred this man must have in his body to be that affected by what I said. I'm allowed to state that Mo Salah is a disgrace. It's a bit strong, but I'm allowed to, because it's my personal opinion. It's kind of hard to objectively be a disgrace. That's, usually an opinion bestowed onto something. It's not like, water is wet, Mo Salah is a disgrace. These are both equal facts. The rest of the comment is just waffle, to be honest. It'd be like me saying you can't have an opinion on my editing if you aren't an editor. Of course you can. It's a free world. That's sort of the point. This comment reeks of being very, very easily wound up, which is why the perfect irony is in the user's name, which until now I have withheld. Trump Nation bitch slapping liberals since 2016. That's right, the same sort of bloke to call someone a liberal snowflake has become the epitome of a snowflake. White, weak, and with a tendency to melt and disappear when it comes into contact with anything remotely warm. Right, this is it for the Mo Salah and diving, unless he does it again. I'm bored of the negativity. Okay, let's get a bit of positivity in here. I'm drawing a line over the whole thing, and then as soon as I go over that line, I'm going to throw my legs and head back and receive a penalty. Came full circle, didn't it? Erkan, Sarri will be fired when you've seen this comment. Well, I mean, come on, hold on. Girl, you lying. Well, it's Thursday when I'm filming this, so I don't believe this will happen by Saturday. But how quickly the Chelsea fans have turned against Sarri is incredible. To be fair, he isn't helping himself by criticising his own players in public. That usually doesn't go down very well at all. But heed this warning, Chelsea. Pep Guardiola was written off by many during his first season in the Premier League. Jurgen Klopp finished 8th in his first season. Maybe Chelsea just need to have a manager that they trust and build a team around them and their ideas instead of getting in managers that their squad don't like before they down tools and just end up pretty much refusing to play. But that's not good enough for some people. Someone called Stephen on the BBC said, Chelsea should sack Sarri, that's awful, in the morning and bring in Frank Lampard. What's the point in having so much possession but doing nothing with it? Football is about goals. Now it sounds like he's describing a Pellegrini type situation, which is where your team has 99% possession but can't get through the defence, so they just pass it from left to right at the edge of the box before conceding a crap goal on the counter. I understand how frustrating it is, but getting Frank Lampard in is a dangerous move. He's doing well at Derby, so just leave him alone for a bit longer and let him flourish properly first. And then he'll manage Man City. Yay, legend. But what do you think? If you agree with Stephen, vote in the poll above. If you also don't agree with Stephen and Sarri should stay and, have a little bit longer, also vote for the other option in the poll above. If you got a reason for it and it wasn't a random pick, then comment below. Schalke shall. I've got one. I've finally got one. Look at it. Look at this beauty. It may not be the current one, but it's definitely a classic. So thank you to classicfootballshirts.co.uk for sending me this beauty. I've now fully evolved into an official Königsblau. The mighty Schalke drew with Hertha Berlin in a game where we scored 2 goals. 2 bloody goals! That's 4 in 2 games now. And after going ahead twice, it might be nice to win. But a point is a point. We're now closer to 6th place than we are to 16th. It's happening. It's bloody happening all the way up. Champions League places, boys. Well, not really. But it gets better. Now, City drawing with Schalke in the Champions League felt like fate. But the two clubs have become even more intertwined as City youth prospect Rabbi Matondo refused a contract and opted for an £11 million move to Schalke. So it's all good for me on a personal level. City get £11 million for a youth player we've only had for 3 years and has made 0 senior appearances for us. Schalke gets an exciting new forward which pushes Franco De Santo even further down the pecking order. Win, win. Schalke have also put in a bid for Lucas Perez, and I'm not sure whose idea that was, but what a joker. What an absolute joker. He's shit. Comment of the week. Week of the comment, the unknown. Still trying to do what to my life since Kieran got relegated. Hashtag bring Kieran back. Some terrible grammatical and spelling mistakes in this sentence, but it's not quite as bad as that Ashley Young tweet from the weekend. Jesus Christ, you really don't need to be remotely intelligent to earn a lot of money, do you? Anyway, the unknown, congratulations on winning comment of the week. Unfortunately, I will not be returning to the Star Wars cockpit because I do not deserve to, and I feel much more at home being a make-believe hologram in a spaceship which apparently has no destination that we know of. No one has ever pointed that out. Where are we all flying to? Also, how are there so many people crammed in that tiny thing? We've never landed as far as I'm concerned, so I guess Akinfenwa is still trapped in there somewhere. Someone call the space police and just get us back down to Earth immediately. And after you call the space police, why don't you call 0800 sub to my personal channel? And also sub to this channel after you hear the beep. There we go.